Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Natasha and this is LJ's Life's Ways. So I've been wanting to do this video for a very long time now. So without further ado, let's get into it. So today I'm gonna tell y'all my top 11 books for the Christian girls out there that have been looking for something but you don't know what to read. I'm not gonna go in any particular order, I'm just gonna tell y'all the books. Okay. The first book that I have here is the book, you see it? Nice, eh? So it is Hello Stars. It is written by Alena Pitts. Alena is the girl who acted as Danielle in War Room. That is the electricity coming back, so don't mind the change in lighting, okay? She tells us like, it's a little story from her life, like a piece of her life. She auditioned and she actually got it and she was worried about small things she didn't need to get worried about. And yeah, it's just that little journey. It's really nice to see that, like, I think she was 12 or 11 when she wrote this book. So that's pretty cool to see that, like, a young person is actually writing, you know? It's inspiring. So people, this is for like, yeah, 12 years old, 11, 10, even, yeah, I think 10, even younger. Then the next one, this is my personal favorite, Lucy Doesn't Wear Pink by Nancy Rue. Nancy Rue is one of my favorite book writers. She writes Christian books. She even has like a Bible and stuff. Like she has written so many books and I have a couple of hers here as well. So this book is written by Nancy Rue. It's like a whole collection. If you look at the size of the words, like this is perfect, y'all. I don't know how many times I've read this book. I think 3 times actually, not that much. Let me read the back side. Growing up is hard, the blurb. Growing up is hard when you don't have a mother, but God helps Lucy find her way. Lucy's bossy, career-minded Aunt Karen thinks 11-year-old Lucy needs a woman's influence. Enter Inez. You see, I've read this book. I was butchering her name, but it's fine because it's in my head. A housekeeper with a will as strong as Lucy's, and her granddaughter Maura, a girly girl who is Lucy's polar opposite. Will the girls ever find a common ground? Inez just might have the answers when she teaches them the story of Ruth and Naomi. The story of Ruth is my favorite story in the Bible. So if you don't really understand the meaning behind the story of Ruth and Naomi, then get that book. This girl, her mother died in an accident, so it's set over there, and then her father is blind, so it's just her and her father. But now her aunt was like, Lucy should move in with her, but then Lucy was like, no, there's no way, because her aunt is like so bossy and she's trying to change Lucy into something that she's not. And then yeah, the father is like, you know what, no, you're not gonna stay with your aunt, I'll call a nanny. And she doesn't like the nanny, but like she ends up growing on her and she likes playing soccer. There's no soccer ball over here. But yeah, she's like a natural born leader. Okay, another book by Nancy Rue. So this is called Lily's Passport to Paris. So this is a children's book. It's about this girl who goes to Paris with her family. So her mother works for, what do they call these things? Mission houses, sort of thing, to help like kids, you know, like less fortunate kids. So then they always move from countries. Like she was from America, then she went to England working by a mission house. Now she's going to Paris for like a month. And then Lucy finds this person who this is a French boy who, like, yeah, she sort of makes him her mission, but like she grows close to him and like they're friends and she builds a trust. But then, you know, Christopher does something to break that trust. But you know, Lily is not gonna give up. Doesn't give up that easy. It's a nice book. I would suggest maybe 9-year-old. Hey, Beverly Lewis books are nice. She writes a lot about the Amish people. This book is the Timepiece. It's not like very thick, but like it's thick enough, you know. And then this is how it looks inside. Like, It's about an Amish family. So then the father, he didn't grow up in the
Y'all
Amish,
can tell
right?
that I haven't read
So he was like a normal man, and then
he was married,
he fell in love with someone, and I think they were fiancés or something. Then they had a divorce, or they had some big thing.
So he can, like,
I remember his
and all that.
wife.
So that's what happened.
Yeah. All of a sudden, this daughter comes up, this lady is like, I'm your daughter. And he's like, wait up, I don't have another daughter. But actually he did have another daughter. And yeah, so his wife that he divorced with was pregnant with her, but didn't tell him. So yeah, just now this girl, she her mother passed away, so now she came to go find her dad. Now she found her dad, and there's this whole thing because she has an elder daughter. The eldest is a daughter, and then has like just sons after that. So now I was like, she's sort of jealous because I've been the only daughter. My father hasn't even told me so much about him. Now she's telling this new girl, this modern girl, all about him so much that I didn't even know. And I've been like, he's been my father for 18 years, and I didn't even know this about him. And then now this girl is like asking so much. He's like, she's giving her so much more attention and all of that. But they come together. Like, it's a nice book. It's slow paced, go with the flow. You know what I mean? Okay, next book is by Trinitee Stokes. Oh my gosh, Trinitee Stokes is just a whole energy vibe, like so bubbly and everything. Like, even if you check out interviews. So yeah, Trinity Stokes is the girl who acted in Casey Undercover with Zendaya. Yeah, so she wrote a book, Bold and Blessed, and guess who wrote her forward, guys? Whole Angela Bassett. Yeah, so this book is nice. She even included some like baby pictures and pictures of her family and all. Like, it's a couple in there. So she also wrote this around the age of 12, 13, I think, somewhere there. And it's like, it's not a narrative story, but she does put in like her own insight and like add a little bit of stories in there. These different chapters about different topics. I don't know if there's, yeah. So over here is just chapter 1 is Hello World, it's me, Trinity. Then Girl on a Mission, Lights, Camera, Life. Looking good from head to soul. For the famous one, Family First, Iron Girls, Unstoppable Destiny, Get Your Serve On, Jesus on Center Stage. So it's sort of like helping you, like it's a guidebook guiding you. At 13, 14, 12, 11, around those ages, this would be a nice book. And then another go-to book, I love this one. This is by Natasha B. Apparently, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that properly, but apparently her mother is famous, but I don't know her mother. But it's called Let's Be Real, and yeah, it's just about being real. Like, she literally opens up, find the real you, embrace real you, real friendships, real conviction, real talk about guides and relationships, real value of family, real health, beauty, faith in life, be true to yourself. So it's just 10 chapters. Like, it's simple, straight to the point, and like, this is how it looks. So what she does is like she opens the chapter with like a quote or like a Bible verse, and then she would speak a little bit about that, then give like tips and like maybe scenarios, and like actually put in her story in there of like how she experienced this. So it's just like, it helps so much. You might not think you need it, but girl, you do. You're constantly growing every day. You're never at the finish line. I'm telling you, this book is gonna get you like just get the book. Just get the book, because it's a good book. It's just, a real life is the best life. That's what she said over there. And she just gives advice like a older sister. She even has her go-to workout. And this book, at first I was like, dude, I don't know where you're going at, but it is amazing. Things I Never Told You by Beth K Vogt. So she is writing. They said keep an eye out for the next Thatcher Sisters novel, so I hope it's coming because they left it on like such a cliffhanger sort of. So pretty much this girl, like, you don't really know much at the beginning, so I don't want to spoil it for you, so I'll just read that back. No? So it's been 10 years since Peyton Thatcher's twin sister died in an accident, forcing the entire family to cope in whatever ways they could. Now a lone twin, Peyton reinvents herself as a partner in a successful party planning business and is doing just fine as long as she manages to hold her memories and her family's at arm's length. But with the announcement of her middle sister Jillian's engagement, Peyton's party planning skills are called into action, which means working alongside Joanna, her opinionated older sister, who always seems ready for a fight. They can only hope a wedding might just be the occasion to heal the resentment and jealousy that divides them, until a frightening diagnosis threatens Jillian's plans for the future, as old wounds reopen and the family faces the possibility of yet another tragedy. The Thatchers must decide if they will pull together or be driven apart for good. Guys, this book is so good. It is so good. Like, once you get in it, you can't stop. You can't stop. I guess I'm raving about this that much because it's like the latest book that I just read. But yeah, it's good. Okay, next one. This is my all-time favorite. Well, one of my all-time favorites. It's another. This is John Watson, Buttermilk Sky. So it's pretty much about a girl who left like the countryside and came to the city. This is based in like the olden days, like 1913. Okay, this is way back, over a whole century. Okay, so this girl leaves the countryside. She goes to the city to study typewriting, and she had a guy back home, right? And that guy was so serious about her, but Maggie was like, I'm not sure, we left you, wasn't that serious. That guy is like, he's preparing a house, putting wallpaper with Maggie's favorite flowers. Like, when she's done with school, she's gonna come back and we're gonna live here together. She's like, we weren't that serious. Now she goes and she meets this guy, and she's like, she's so flattered by him. But this guy, turns out that he only wants to date her or marry her because his mother sees her as a perfect fit, so he can get money from the will if he is married. But the mother's like, you need to find a suitable person, so you can't just marry anybody, and Maggie just fits the piece. So then, but now this guy's very cruel, and Maggie has a friend who lives in like the poorer side of town, and he works with land. He's like the landlord now after his father, and he was like pushing them out of the house. So she's like, no man, no, I'm not gonna show. And then, yeah, it's a whole thing. And then it keeps on going back and forth on like Maggie's perspective and Chanice. Chanice is the guy that she left back home. And then like we get to see what's happening back home and what's happening in the city as well. And Chanice is a sheriff, not a police. They didn't have police, right? I know. You better get this book. This book is good. It's good. Another Nancy Rue book. This is the book. Can you see it? Meet Sophie. So it's 2 books in one. It's also a whole big collection. It's pretty much about this girl who like lives in her head. Like, she is so imaginative and she creates her own world. And her family just thinks that she's weird. She doesn't stay focused because she just creates a whole new world, a whole new scenario, and she changes who she is and like acts a role. And like there's a whole, she creates like a whole thing. And like sometimes she gets stuck in there that she doesn't even realize what she's doing, and then she'll snap out of it and she's like, oh man, I did something. Like the other time they went on a field trip, and she was so into like this whole world that she created that like when she snapped out of it, she was lost and the whole group was gone. But yeah, she meets a friend and they understand each other, and then there's also bullies involved. So yeah, it's a whole thing about a girl discovering herself with her family that doesn't understand, but then they get to understanding. Yeah, like I'm not that great at explaining, guys, but just know that all these books are good, okay? Okay, trust me. So yeah, meet Sophie. Yeah, like the writing is good. It's like not that thick, but it's pretty chill. So I'd say 12 years, 11 years, 13. And then another Beverly Lewis book, First Love. So this is about a girl. She has like rheumatoid arthritis. Well, that's what they diagnosed her with, but it's not for sure. She's been struggling with that. Amish people, like, and get her, they only go to school for like 8 years, and then after that they'll be chilling at home and helping with stuff, and then there's a age where they go out to like seek a partner, like, you know, like Jaws, but like, yeah, so like every Friday nights all the young people would come together, and like it'll be like a whole like nice dancey thing, and then they get to like meet each other and get to like go pursue someone that they're interested in, so they can marry each other. But like she isn't in the proper state to go out and do that stuff, and like she likes someone, but the person that she likes, she's like, you know, I can't let this man marry me because he deserves someone whole. So she feels that way because like she's a disabled person, so she doesn't feel worthy enough of marriage. So she's just like sad and all this time. And yeah, and then her cousin it starts with the M, but like they're not Amish, they are where they have like this church revival, and it pretty much like a mega save, Jesus mega save crusade, you know, they saving, bringing more people to Christ. So then she starts going on to these things, right, these crusades and stuff, and then she also meets someone who she likes, she fancies, and then yeah, these like mega crusade stuff, and she enjoys them. But then the father's like, oh my gosh, I'm scared that she won't want to be baptized into the Amish community and stuff. So we don't know if she's gonna stay in the Amish, or if she's gonna go out with that man, or if she's gonna even get her miracle because she really wants divine healing. We don't know, but I do. Y'all do. The one that got me into Beverly Lewis's books, this one, Summerhill Secrets. This is 5 books in one. It's thick. Beverly Lewis is such a great writer, but this is about a modern girl who lives near the Amish community. Like her neighbors are Amish, but some of them are like modern. So like she has an Amish friend, Rachel, and then she also goes to school, so like she experiences both. And then yeah, there's like this whole like love drama thing where she sort of like dating this Amish boy. It's very cool because every little book is focusing on a different thing. Like the first book is about her friend, modern friend, not Amish, who is getting physically abused by her father, and also her mother's getting abused by her father. Hi guys, so my camera switched off. Okay, so talking about The Secret in the Willows. So this is about a guy, I think he's like autistic, and they just make fun of him at school, and then Mary Hansen made friends with him, and he was very nice. But then like these awful stuff started happening at her Amish neighbor's house, and they thought that it was his fault because like, okay, so it was a fire, right? Then Mary was saving a cat that was in the fire. Then Mary got stuck in there. And all of a sudden, this guy that she made friends with at school is at her neighbor's yard saving her from the barn. And it's like, how did he get there? So people thought it was his fault. And the police were like also interrogating him. So that's this book, my favorite book. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Thank you so much. And I also apologize for not posting much. Bye guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Keep on shining your light. Don't hide it. Matthew 5 verse 14 to 16. Peace.